March 17th meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety. Roll call. Here.
Here.
Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No.
Next is approval of the minutes of February 11. I've had a chance to review them. So could somebody make a motion to approve?
So moved.
The motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Item A is a change order, number 1, for the 2nd District Lighting Improvement Project, Murray, from Maywood to Howard, Toll from Hoffman to Hudson, and the 4600 block of Hickory, and the 46 and 4700 blocks of Ash. There's one change that was added. It's an increase of $580 for the installation of a 100 amp single phase meter box. Do I have a motion approving the change order?
Motion to approve.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item B, correspondence received from Norfolk Southern Railroad requesting rail crossing on 165th to be closed from April 18th through April 29th. This is the one right by Hammond Lead. There's a good alternate route with Summer Street. So do I have a motion approving the closure?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Kevin, did you want us to move up item G?
Sure. Actually, is anybody here from Dick Iota in the state? Why don't we just keep it where it is?
Okay. Then we'll move down to item C. Correspondence received from Superior Construction requesting lane restrictions northbound, southbound on Columbia Avenue between Chicago Street and Goslin Street for the installation of protective barrier walls and pavement improvements beginning April 4th through October 28th. Yeah, it's not going to be closed. It'll only be restricted probably to one lane either direction. They're going to install some crash barriers on the columns that support the South Shore. So do I have a motion approving those lane restrictions?
So moved.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Item D, correspondence received from AT&T requesting permission to perform work at 2842 Carlson Drive.
Motion to approve.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Item E, correspondence received from Chief of Police John Doty submitting the resignation from the Hammond Police Department of Officer Brett Scholler, effective Thursday, March 10th, and a disposal authorization.
Motion to approve the chief's request.
The motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Crash reconstruction service contract with Kender Technologies submitted for approval. They're going to be helping the police department, I assume?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, Mr. President, this is actually for litigation. We've hired an expert because there was a collision involving a police vehicle. We have hired an expert to do a reconstruction, and that is just his contract. And I would ask the board to please approve it.
Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Are we waiting for somebody for item G? We could come back to it. Kevin stepped out, right?
We are waiting at the moment to see if someone's coming to my end.
Okay. Well, we'll go down to item H and we'll come back to G. Item H is rental registration hearing on property located at 6330 Holman.
As the board may recall, we were here last week, the gentleman in the city was making his water bills from 2015. The previous thing before that was the property was vacant in 2015, that's why they didn't register. I did go to the water department and got their records for, not only for the total of his bills, but for consumption, through 2015, which averaged between 13,000 and 20,000 gallons a month.
You need to speak into the microphone so everybody can hear.
Just like you we now rental, but their family living there. You know, that's just a regular house. Sometimes nobody rent, we just living there. It's just like a private house, you know. It's people not living long time. Sometimes they live in 1 year, sometimes 6 months, just move out. Our family kids move, something like that.
The first claim was that the property was vacant, it wasn't being occupied through 2015. Obviously, the water consumption at 13,000, 20,000 gallons, 22,000 gallons a month is a lot of consumption for a single-family home. We're here because it didn't register for 2015. Their claim first was that it's vacant, now it's that people are moving in, moving out. At every point, it was occupied, it was rented, they did have people in there. I don't know if they're collecting rent or not. My understanding is that these people are employees of the restaurant that they own in Chicago that are staying there. It's a rental property. You know, we have estimated 7 to 8 people that are living in this property. That's why the water consumption is so high. I would ask the board that they impose the delay for 2015. And they'll understand that they need to register every year, regardless of who's in there, how long they're in there. As long as it's being occupied by somebody who's not the owner, they need to be registered as rental property.
How many units are we talking about?
It's one
one.
unit, one home.
One home.
It's almost like a rooming house, basically. You have individuals in each of them.
It's like one of those old bigger homes, right?
Right. It's a large one, there's 5 bedrooms full. One thing that we're looking for in inspection is for hot plates and cooking utensils that may make it a rooming house or try to be a rooming house. Rooming house has got to be registered with the state. I'm giving the benefit of the doubt that these people are occupying this property as somewhat of a family unit. It's not, each individual bedroom is not equipped for its own cooking, its own living purposes. They do have a central kitchen and bath. So I'm giving the benefit of the doubt there. We claim that it was unoccupied in 2015 with water for consumption. There are people that are using water.
And they initially stated that it was vacant in 2015, right?
What I say in the beginning, just like here, no rent out. No rent out, but their family, just like the kids and daughter is living there. It's just a regular house. It's not like condo, not like that for the people. It's a regular, it's just like this house right now. Somebody living there, the rental, somebody want to live in there. But maybe another 1 year, 2 years, people moving there, oh, same, empty. Then maybe our family living there, just like a regular house. We cannot open there, you know. It's we pay 7,000, more than 7,000.
You're telling me that everyone is living there as family?
Huh?
Everyone is living there as family?
Right now, no, right now. From
Right
this
now, no.
year, yeah, remember?
Last year?
Yeah,
Last year,
last
everyone
year,
lived there family?
yeah, but this year, from January, I register
I
already for
cannot
the
believe
rent.
that. I cannot believe that.
I can't read, Kelly, this one.
I'm sorry if I
How is
didn't
that?
call in
Yeah,
the
how
This
is
is,
that?
facts.
14 through 50. So that, why does it jump?
I don't
Oh,
know.
this has got to be 15. It just doesn't look right. 13 or 18, 13. So it's that
Okay,
one.
that's the units used.
Yeah, they're pretty significant. This one here is 78,000 gallons. That's a heck of a lot of water.
You can see where it changed that.
Well, even 13,000, which is the lowest one on there. That's
They were came to us
significant
in
usage.
June of 2015 and said, we have all our family members living in this house. I find it hard to believe what we would give an opportunity to file an affidavit to say that it's occupied by me and the family. That wasn't done. They know we've been in this situation before. The last time, originally we were in a house, there was, I believe, up to 16 people in this house. In fact, they've got it down to 8, 6, whatever it may be. Means it's safer. They find any cooking utensils in there that kind of reassures me that we're somewhat safer than we were. But they can't say that it wasn't occupied.
Yeah.
They can't say that it should have been registered.
Were you renting to anybody at all during 2015?
This is what I said, no. But this year, from January, as soon as somebody, I I rent now, somebody want to rent, I come here to register January already.
But no renters at all in 2015?
2015, no.
So
Because,
where's all that water going?
oh, because our family is there, living there. Nobody living there. Our her daughter and the son living there. Because it cannot empty there. We sometimes got to take care of the house. We living there. But as soon as we rent now, we come here to pay the registration rent. But if you think, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's just like a regular. We try to rent something to cover the property tax, pay the bill. It's more than 7,200 tax last year. You know, we don't make it money. We just try to rent a little bit to cover something. It's a lot, very high tax, all the bill, everything.
Again, as I've said in front of this board on numerous occasions, I don't care which one he's making. This decision is not based on monetary. He had every opportunity to come to us and say, I'm gonna have 8 family members living in this house individually with, you know, each in their own little room. That opportunity came and went. To come back now in 2016 and say that it wasn't, it was unoccupied by family, using 20,000 gallons of water a month, the time has come and gone. This should have been registered in one fashion or the other, and it wasn't. The previous history of this house shows that the 60 members that were in there, that were working for the restaurant by their own admission, were not family members.
Was it registered in 14?
Yes.
So this is only for 15 right now?
It was registered in 14 because we inspected in 13 when the 16 people were living in that property. With blankets and dividing walls and individual living spaces, basically.
Yeah, I want to question because 2013 we have worker and her family. Her family maybe have 8 members. Mom, dad, kids. That's what they live in. As soon as you said to many people, you check it out there. Then she buy another property, Chicago. That's why over there, just like you saw about 7, 8 people living there. Now she don't live in there. Her whole family not living there right now.
The opportunity to register this property as occupied by immediate family was last year in January, April 15th. Never did they come to us and say that I have my family in this house, that's who's occupying it. I still find it hard to believe that folks that are staying in this property are their workers. They work for the restaurant. I understand that. If they're not making any money, that's their business decision. This is not owner occupied. I cannot believe that's occupied by immediate family.
I have a question. Actually, only one thing we forgot to do just 2015. Didn't come over. We think it's no rental. We don't come here to pay them. Actually, just $5 to register fee. Right? We just like we pay 2016. We come here to pay the register fee. Just $5. We don't know if we don't rent now. We have to come here to tell somebody. That's the only problem we make. You know. In the future, we know if somebody move out, we gotta come here to tell somebody the house is no rent or something like that. We have to do that.
So
I mean,
I don't know.
whatever you decide, it's fine, no problem. But only thing next time we know, just like if somebody move out, we gotta talk to somebody, or we have to, because we think about that's our house, you know, we have just rent now, we living there, that's all. In the future, we know. If we now rent now, we just come here, put somebody out.
Same situation for any landlord that has property that they're not living in. They had the opportunity to come and register for immediate family. That didn't happen. They were in 14 because we inspected in 13, made them register for 14, made sure that they knew that they had to register for 14. 15, because they're not making money, they feel they don't have to register. And to say that's occupied by immediate family, if you've seen the living conditions, whatever, I just don't find it to be true. I just don't see that.
Has he registered for 16 yet?
Yeah, I did already. January.
He came in for 16,
Yeah, I did already. I have paper. I can show you. Actually, just $5.
And then how did he register it? As rental?
Yes.
Actually, it's just $5 for registration. Just only 5 minutes, so you can't get paid $5.
Right.
It's not just for January. Yeah. Only thing I don't know is that you not know right now, you got to put somebody. In the video, you go out this our house, you know, something very a regular house, somebody, you know, people living there, maybe another 6 months.
Regular house is
Yeah,
basically
Yeah,
a
they-
rooming house,
this was,
which is illegal.
Got it.
I don't believe these people all are relating and living in the same
I
situation.
mean, just
They
like,
each have their individual microwaves and,
oh, no, only one microwave in the house, you saw last time.
right.
I can promise only, like you saw last time, one kitchen, one microwave, right?
What I'm asking the board to do is as opposed to $500 late fee for not registering for 2015. We've been through this 3 weeks, 3 different hearings on this, from being vacant to being immediate family to being, now occupied by 8 different people. They had every opportunity to register. Considering the history we've had with this property and the problems we associate with it, I would have no way to prove that their immediate family is being occupied in this property. I had no way to know.
Do we have such a motion?
I'll make a motion to assess $5 registration fee for 2015, assess $500 late fee for 2015.
second.
A motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion passes. Okay. Kevin, do you want to do G now?
Yes.
That's his.
The Blight Elimination Program, public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. President and Board. Do we have a list of the properties on the public hearing? Do you have a notice, a list of public hearing notice?
This is
Thank
it?
you.
Was it out of order?
Weren't there 5? 4, okay. The list of properties on the, that was properly noticed in the newspaper by the board was for 4938 Hickory Avenue, 4615 Johnson Avenue, 5658 Walter Avenue, and 4614 Cameron Avenue. Is anyone here present on any of those properties for the public hearing? All right. The public hearing requirement is a requirement of the Blight Elimination Program, of which the City of Hammond is a recipient of funds from the state through the Indiana Housing and Community Development Authority, which is also known as ICTA, and the Blight Elimination Program, which I'm sure many people have heard about in the newspaper and otherwise. It's federal funds that flow down through the state and into the localities pursuant to our application. The city was awarded funds through that program, and we are required to have a public hearing on any property that is potentially going to be demolished pursuant to that program. These are the 4 properties that are up today. I believe in late April or early May, you're going to have a much larger list of properties. So with no one here, we just would like the board to note for the record that we did have a public hearing, that no one showed up, and that this would conclude the public hearing.
We have to offer that to the public. Is there anyone who would like to comment? Anyone who'd like to comment? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we move down to item I, hearing on property located at 54 Detroit Street. Morning. Please state your name for the record.
William Borman.
Mr. Borman came to us, one of his tenants has suffered an injury that is requiring him to ask for assistance from North Township to get some help in paying rent. In doing that, we also noticed that he wasn't registered in 2015. He has 3 units that are being occupied, and neither of those were registered for 2015. Being that the late fee would be $500 per unit, I'm willing to suggest that we ask for 1 late fee, $500 for 1 late fee, and then register the units, the 3 units for 2015.
What about 2014, Kelly?
I do believe he's registered for 14.
And 16?
I believe that's where we're at now. He's still trying to register for 16. We just asked for 1 late fee for 2015. And then we will be able to get the assistance for the tenant in need. Fair enough?
I'm sorry, Kelly, I didn't have the form in front of me. Can you repeat your recommendation?
I'm asking for a late fee of $500 for 2015. He has 3 units that weren't registered. So just one late fee applied instead of the $1,500. And then registered the 3 units for 2015. And then we get it registered for 2016, and his tenant can get assistance in North Township once it's registered. North Township will not offer assistance to a property that is not registered. Kind of a cooperation between us and them.
Okay.
I'll make motion to, for 2015, register the 3 units at $5 apiece and assess one late fee of $500.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
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 Those against? Motion passes.
So each of the paperwork after the meeting.
Item J, correspondence received requesting rental registration hearing. There's only one. When do you want to set that? April 14th? Do I have a motion to set the hearing on 7006 Jackson on April 14th?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Jackson?
I have an aye. Do I have another aye?
Or, I'm sorry.
For that property, setting the hearing on the
Aye,
14th.
aye, yes.
Okay. Motion passes. Item K, agreement to rehabilitate property at 7534 Woodlawn Avenue, first addendum submitted for approval.
Mr. President, this is a house that was on the demolition list. The person entered in a rehab agreement. They've been making progress. They do need additional time to complete the progress, and so we're extending the rehab agreement. That's all. The only change is the extension of the completion date. We're going to give them until, the summer months.
Motion to approve the extension?
Second.
Motion and second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item L, contract for demolition services with Lesko Construction in the amount of $6,750 for the demolition of 241 173rd Street.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Item M, correspondence received from St. Margaret Mary Church requesting permission for a street closure on Sunday, March 20th, 2016, Friday, March 25th, and Sunday, March 27th for the Easter processions. Do I have a motion approving those closures?
We need to send this to somebody. Do we need to forward this to the police department?
Yeah, that'll need to be forwarded to Civil Defense and Police, and you'll take care of that, right?
Motion to approve the closure and forward to the police department?
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item N, correspondence received from Purdue University Calumet requesting permission to hold an outdoor concert on Friday, April 29th from 5 to 10 p.m.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion passes. Matters from other board members. I have two matters. The first matter I have is a request from South Shore Arts. They're going to be having on Saturday, June 11th, an event at the Hammond Branch Substation, 435 Fayette. And they're asking to use the parking lots on both sides of the building for events, outdoor display of artwork. Typically, we'd have them provide us with some type of insurance, right? So do I have a motion approving this subject to them having what, Chris? An insurance rider or something having the city covered? in
It
case-
needs to be named as an additional insured.
Okay.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes. Next, I have a revised schedule for the J.C. Penney demolition. This just brings it up to date. We actually approved the schedule last week, but they've modified some of the timing on it. So do I have a motion approving the revised schedule?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any other matters from board members?
No.
Matters from department heads or their representatives? Dean?
Mr. President, members of the board, good morning. Yesterday, I received a telephone call from the Indiana Toll Road contractor. There are two sections of the Indiana Toll Road that are bridges that are some spalling of the concrete occurring underneath the bridge deck. It's at the toll road at Goslin and Hune. They are requesting a temporary closure for 2 to 3 weeks of Goslin Street starting Monday, March 21st. And when that's completed, they'll come back and ask for a second closure at Hune Street. It's emergency repairs to correct the broken concrete that's coming down.
Yeah, those bridges are all getting old, and they've been starting to do that over the last couple of years. They were working on the one on Calumet not too long ago, and also the one on Sheffield
And Columbia.
and
And
Columbia.
they have recognized that there are two other, one at 150th, I believe, and then somewhere in the 140 block also is some issues, but they'll come back to us later on those. I would point out too that the C-Click Fix program had actually reported debris in the sidewalk at that location. So the Hammond 311 app has, paid off in this.
So these are both lesser streets, so we're giving them the total closure and make it easier for them to get the work done.
They'll provide a detour plan of how they're going to reroute traffic, but basically we'll reroute Goslin Street to Hune for the time being, and then when Hune comes in for closure, we'll reroute traffic to Goslin. As I'm sure you're aware, there's a construction project going on for a bike trail connection between 150th and 142nd, basically along the toll road and the South Shore train. I've talked to the contractor about that. It's not going to affect their operations either.
Okay. Do I have a motion approving the closures?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you
Motion
kindly.
passes. Do we have any new business? Any old business? Meeting's open to the public. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to get up and speak? If not, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.